Hey there everyone, and welcome back to some more Final Fantasy 16. Now, I did do a bit of grinding, so we're at level 27 now. And the biggest thing is not so much our gear, but our abilities. Because for the abilities, I can't remember what things I did on my own. I think it was upgrading the precision dodge, so it gives us more time. I think the burning blade, so it takes less time for that to charge up. And then it was focusing on the actual abilities. We're now Rising Flames is mastered, so it can get put onto any icon, so it doesn't have to just be on the Phoenix. Upgraded the Heat Wave once. I upgraded the Flames of Rebirth once. I think last recording I had upgraded the Garuda's Embrace. Upgraded the Gouge once. And unlocked the Brook's Gambit, which is a counter essentially. And Aerial Blast, which is the special area one for Garuda's abilities. So I tried kind of messing around, and this is essentially where I landed with them. Still having the Phoenix abilities there and Garuda's. On Garuda's for the win ones. But we got the Rising Flames and the Flames Rebirth. Great damage dealer and recharges quicker. And an awesome area attack. Then Gouge is pretty good for stunning. Then Aerial Blast is good for stunning as well as a pretty unique attack. Oh, and we got a good amount of cash. Well, I guess not so much anymore, 43.57. But didn't take much grinding to constantly build up enough cash, so that way I could buy some health potions, buy the audios, and so
You? Those are Elwyn's. By the flames. You're his firstborn. Clive Rosfield.
You're mistaken.
Oh, you can't fool me, my lord. You're the very image of your father. And that would be true even if you weren't wearing his clothes. The self-same garments Hannah was keeping for you, if I'm not mistaken. She always swore that she would never part with them until the day Elwyn's sons returned. And now that day has come. Why, you'll be able to take your bearers back as well.
My bearers. Forgive me, Master Mayor. I was a child when last I came to Eastpool. I didn't recognize you.
Oh, I'd be surprised if you recognized anything at all. Much has changed since Rosaria fell to the Empire. Not least for the bearers, who once served her noble families. When the Ironbloods sacked Rosalith 13 years back, many who lost their masters fled here in search of sanctuary.
And never returned.
Aye. The plan was to send them home once we'd won back the capital. But then the Imperials arrived. Rosaria became a province of Sanbreque. The duchy was dissolved, and they no longer had any home to return to. Back in your father's day, any bearer who lost their master became a ward of the duchy. We'd hand them over to the sheriffs, and they'd be assigned a new position. But when we saw how the Empire treated their branded, we knew that wasn't an option. So they've been here ever since.
And now you want to give them to me?
They're yours by right, Lord Rosfield. Bequeathed you by your late father. And they'd be better off serving you than hiding here. Indeed, many of them used to serve your house, and still considered the Rosfields their masters.
I'm no one's master. Not anymore. They wouldn't be safe with me.
I understand. You'll forgive an old man his fanciful notions. Been daydreaming for too long. But still, I would ask a favor of you. A small mercy.
If it is within my power.
One of the bearers is an elderly fellow who still swears absolute loyalty to Archduke Elwyn. I don't ask that you take him into your service, only that you meet with him. Let him see that Elwyn's son still lives, and that he's as fine a man as his father ever was.
It would be my honor.
Thank you, my lord. He sits by the well most days, watching the people go about their business. If you could show him your face, I would be most grateful.
Alright, quest accepted. Back in the day.
As fine a man as my father.
You're not so very different, you know. Especially dressed like that. Come on, let's go and meet that bearer.
Don't see anyone by the well.
He's not here.
Well, I can't leave without meeting him. I've let the mayor down once already. It would be cruel to disappoint him again.
Right, let's ask around. Someone must have seen him.
So now we're on the search for a bearer.
Well now, unfamiliar faces. What brings you to Eastpool, travellers?
We're looking for an elderly bearer. You wouldn't happen to have seen him, would you?
Ah, you mean the old boy who always waits by the well?
Yes, that's him.
What business do you have with him, if you don't mind me asking? You're not from the capital too, are you?
We are, in a way.
Well then, it's a pleasure to meet a fellow Rosalithian. I was born and raised down Market Street, and never would have left if Archduke Elwyn had survived the fire. It wasn't the same when the Duchess took over, though. Oh, the beatings, the evictions, the levies going up and up and up, even as the blight took half the harvest. Oh, listen to me, telling you what you already know. I'm sorry. And I'm afraid I can't help you with your bearer either, though I doubt he'll have gone far. He comes here every day, almost as if he's waiting for something.
We'll keep asking around then. Thank you.
Sadly not surprised that Clive's mother was that way and did not care what happened to these people.
Good day, milady. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a bearer, an elderly fellow who used to serve the Rosfields. Have you seen him?
Ah, that old loon. No sign of him today. Funny, he's usually down by the well at this hour, cooking up his fantasy feasts.
I'm sorry?
Oh, he worked in the kitchens at Rosalith Castle back in the day. Still thinks he's there now. You'll often hear the poor fool chatting away to the Archduke. Living in a dream he is. But better there than here, I suppose. Can't imagine the Vicereine stopping to trade tales with a bearer. Can you?
No.
Anyway, you'll be round here somewhere. Doubt he has the path to stray too far.
Thank you. We'll keep looking.
Hey, hold on a mo. Young Patrick, the chocobo keeper, might know where he is. He's taken the old bird under his wing, so to speak. He'll be in the stables. You should go and have a word with them.
Patrick the Chocobo Keeper. Thank you. We will.
I'm sorry, Jill. For making you do all this in my stead.
It can't be helped if we're to keep up the pretense. Come on, let's head for the stables.
You know, I actually, even though this is kind of random, I actually like traveling around this little town, talking with people. It's pretty cool.
Where the bloody hell's he got to?
Excuse me, but is something the matter?
It's this bearer I've been minding. I take my eyes off him for 1 minute and he disappears. He's not in his usual spot by the well, nor anywhere else in the village.
You must be Patrick.
I am, but...
And this bearer you're looking for, he's an elderly man who used to work in the Rosalith Castle kitchens, yes?
That's the fella. How do you know all this? I've never seen you in Eastpool before, but you seem to know the place better than I do myself. Ah, so that's how it is. Well then, if you're acting under orders of the mayor, you're on about to help me find him. He's been losing what little sense he had left of late, saying the sheriffs are coming to collect him and that he needs to go back to the castle. I was supposed to watch over him, keep him out of trouble. But if he's walked out on us, there's not a lot I can do.
Understood. You keep searching here, we'll look for him outside.
Thank you. I'm in your debt.
I hope he hasn't wandered into trouble.
Let's just concentrate on finding him.
Okay, so we gotta head out of town and look for him then, apparently. That's some pretty good water. I like it. And because we've been grinding in a lot of
Still no
areas,
sign. Could he have strayed even further?
you know that there is creatures through here. Normally there are anyways. Huh. I guess let's go ahead and keep searching and looking then. Don't see anyone. Maybe we'll see him from the cliff?
Look, there's someone over there.
It might be him. We should hurry. Company.
We can't lead them to the old man. They need to die.
Agreed.
Lead them to the old man.
Wake wins!
Actually, I'll go ahead and show you guys this ability. It's awesome. I've only used it like 2 times. Look at that. Oh man, I thought that was all. Oh well, that's fine. Just go ahead and kill these guys. Easy way here, though.
Finished!
Especially if it's just these simple worgans, wolves. Or wolf-like creatures, I guess you could say.
Over.
Enemy slaying. Spoils. Basic.
Are you all right, my friend? Come on. Let's go home.
Your Grace, you came for me. I waited for you so long, but you finally came.
I'm not who you think.
Clive.
Yes. Pray forgive my long delay.
It's nothing, Your Grace. I prayed to the Founder that you would come, and at long last, he answered. Will we be returning to the castle, then? There is still a place for me in the kitchens.
No, my friend. We will not be returning to the castle, not yet. I'm on a very important expedition. One which may take some time. Could you wait for me in Eastpool until my journey is complete? I will come back for you then. I promise.
Of course, Your Grace. For you, I would gladly wait until my dying day. Thank you, both of you. You've been most kind. The memory of serving the late Archduke was as one light in the darkness, and now that light burns a little more brightly. It's nothing but a fantasy, of course, but it's better than the truth of the matter. A damn sight better. The blight is on our doorstep. Our harvests are failing. The people are leaving in droves. If it weren't for Lady Hannah selling half her worldly goods to provide for the few of us who stay behind, we would long since have starved. We want to keep the bearers safe here, we really do. But unless a miracle happens, we won't be able to spare a crust of bread to share between them soon enough.
Is it really that bad?
So bad, I even petitioned the Imperial garrison to take them. But when they found out where they'd come from, they damn near spat in our faces. Ducal dogs, they called them. Enemies of the Empire.
I know a man named Sid, who would gladly give a home to any bearer in need of one. Leave this with me. As soon as I return from Phoenix Gate, I'll speak with him.
Thank you, my lord. Will you be passing through Eastpool on your way back? I should very much like to speak with you again, if you have the time, regarding the future of the village, and what might be done for Lady Hannah, after all she's done for us.
Yes, of course. I'll be back anon.
Fare you well, my lord, my lady. I wish you a safe journey.
Alright, quest complete. That's better. That's a lot more money. Decent experience. Teachability. Decent ability. Now back to on our way to Phoenix Gate then. It's been like a week since I played this, actually.
The Deadlands are aptly named.
I didn't realize they were this close.
No wonder their crops are failing. The blight is leaching the ether from the soil. And when the last drop is drained, their fields will turn to this. No plants, no animals, no life.
And no monsters. I suppose that's one small mercy.
Dang. This land looks so dead. But it makes you wonder, too, with the blight, is its origin from
What's
the
this?
crystals?
Another relic of the fallen.
Can I interact with it? No. Looks like a doorway. With a crystal in there. I wonder what we use that for. Looks like it'll go somewhere. Who knows where, though. But yeah, I wonder
We
if
won't
the...
be able to use any magic here.
Another thing to worry about. As if the absence of ether didn't cause enough problems.
Take away the lad's life force, and problems are all that's left.
Potion, nice. So if we end up fighting here, then is it just with regular combat? Will it actually
I can
not
hardly
allow us to
imagine
use
what
magic?
this place used to look like before the blight took it.
I remember. It was beautiful.
Beautiful and now a dead landscape. Man, we are seriously healing up here.
There it is. Phoenix Gate. Where it all went wrong.
Come on, Clive. It's time to discover the truth.
Oh, dang, okay. Curiosity. Nope, they don't got new items. That's fine. And since it's with the swords, I believe that means it's gonna be a fight? I don't know. Phoenix Gate ruins. Untouched in the many winters since the stronghold's fall, the scars of the fateful night linger still upon her walls. Let's go and see what the place looks like now.
It's almost as if time had stood still.
I suppose no one had any cause to return here. No. It's just as I left it. Let's have a look around.
Buried memories.
Could I have done this?
Could anyone?
Whoa. Yeah, I'd say he did that as Ifrit. Ifrit?
What is it, Torgal? Clive.
That's him. He's the only one who can
Beheaded
tell me
man.
what happened. I have to know.
Yeah, we can cast magic here, so...
Where is he?
Nowhere to be seen.
Damn it! He's like a bloody eel.
What is this place, anyway? Some sort of shrine?
Oh, sorry. You've never been here before. This is the Hall of the Gate.
The gate?
It's a relic of the Fallen. Only the Phoenix's dominant can open it.
Hence the castle's name. This was where Joshua was supposed to...
Yes. He would have stepped through this door the next morning and listened to the words of our ancestors.
Would you have gone with him?
No. The apodatory is holy ground. None but the dominant may enter. I and the other shields would have stood guard here and prayed for my brother's safe return. Where the hell did he go?
Perhaps he went inside.
He couldn't have. He'd need the power of the Phoenix. Thank you, Joshua.
Are you sure about this?
Nevermore.
Ah, good. Torkel's with us. I was kind of worried he'd be left out there alone.
Another gate. Let's see if this one opens.
Whoa. This is pretty cool. Very crystalline. Crystalline, I should say.
Could this place really be a fallen ruin?
You could hardly call it a ruin. It's perfect. Like it was built yesterday.
Dang, this place is massive. Built almost like a cathedral or something?
Have you ever seen anything like this? Jill?
What do we do?
The usual.
Fallen bug. Huh. Yeah, I kind of expected them to attack, but I thought they were more humanoid. This is triggered as a means of defense.
More trouble.
Oh, more of them. Interesting. Fallen hunter. You know what? It's a group. Wanna... Let's go ahead and get that aerial blast going here.
How can these things still function?
An end of this. This must be what the fallen ruins were like before they fell.
Huh. Must be. That's interesting. I really like that those designs, actually. These machines and stuff that protect the ruins. I wonder how deep this goes. More of them. Ah, dang it. Didn't realize that electricity there. Man, I love that Phoenix dash, especially after I upgrade its distance. Perfect. Get you there fast and in a hurry. And of course, deeper we go. Wonder what we'll find here.
Looks like he can take a beating.
Then let's give it one.
Oh, crud. Alright, let's try to stagger it here. See if we can end this fight pretty quick. Oh no! Alright, Flames of Rebirth. Like 1.3 extra damage. Not bad. Not bad. Ah, dang it. That dodge timing's a bit off because he's swinging around. And the blade's so big. Excellent. If you get that gouge. I wonder how much damage this will do.
Garuda, lend me your strength!
Does any of this make sense to you?
None. Let's find the hooded man and leave.
Yeah, looks like we're close to leveling up again. Nice. Favor one gouge. I think I have the same gear that I have. Yeah, the healing potency. Increased attack and defense, just because those seem to be the most useful. Because I like switching between both of these during the fight. So the stronger I am in general, the better it helps for either one. Unless I want to focus on like one attack more than the other, I'll probably swap them around. Until then, I can't worry about it too much. Man, I wish I had a higher carrying capacity than just 4 potions and 3 high potions. I hate using them all the time.
Whatever they are, I don't think they're friendly.
Oh, these are strong.
Stay down! Not this time.
Interesting. I'm surprised that these are actually in here. And not an enemy in the main world there.
Flames to me!
Nice. Huh. They call them bombs. I think they were called bombs before, but weird to see them in a fallen rune rather than something brought by the blight.
Would Joshua have had to run this gauntlet too?
No. At least not that I ever heard about. I imagine the Phoenix would receive a warmer welcome.
Maybe. Looks like another elevator.
Here we go again. Where will we end up this time?
Surrounded by contraptions hell-bent on murdering us, I expect. Could the hooded man really have taken this path?
We won't know until we've followed it all the way to the end.
1,200 gil.
Let's keep looking.
That's the best amount I've got from a chest at all. Ever. Another guardian, looks like. Yep. And he's got friends. Let's go ahead and take out his little friends first.
Wake, give me fire!
Try dodge still. Excellent. And the charging sword, short. What? I had that. Charging sword is actually very helpful too. Before I didn't think it was, but once the charge is a lot faster, it's a lot more useful for sure. Flames Rebirth. How we can heal up and hopefully do quite a bit of damage. Not bad, not bad. New enemies. Well, hopefully they get swept up in them. Ah, they do. Excellent. So one thing that sucks is when that storm was there, you can't really see the enemies. Level up, sweet. Excellent. Swing around the room, look for a chest, see if there was one. And we got more enemies. Of course. One thing I did do wish for an accessory though is one that'll actually reduce the cooldown and abilities. That would be extremely useful. Then I'll definitely swap out the health potion one for it.
Look out! There's more of them.
They'll fall like the rest.
Because I end up using the icon abilities actually quite a lot. I mean, I love the versatility of all these abilities being able to combo into each other as well. It makes combat very fun, even though I was grinding and almost doing the same thing over and over. It's surprisingly worth it. Gambit, that's the counter move, I believe. Actually, that might be a second one that I've got here. Oh, it's better. Nice. 10%. Oh, okay. Actually, that's for cooldown. That's for damage. Interesting. I think these are all damaged. Yep. Combo damage. Yeah, there's a variety of stuff you could do with the accessories, just depending on what you get is the big thing. That's why so far I haven't really found anything that works really well with how I do it.
I don't like this.
feeling's mutual.
Oh, Iron Giant.
This time.
Hey, I remember actually that being a enemy that I fought, I think, in Final Fantasy 12, if I remember correctly. Because I remember it's, I think, a mirage that you can recruit in World of Final Fantasy. Gosh, World of Final Fantasy. I'd love to play that game again. I had to buy it again. So if I did, I'd probably do the maximum version. Which I believe is only on Xbox, though. Might end up doing that. Kind of give me something to play on Xbox. That way I can give one of the systems a break while I swap back and forth. Though if I play that game, it probably won't be until I get a lot more of these series under control. Get some of the ones that are still outstanding done. So I need to complete like Forspoken, Dying Light 2, Gotham Knights, all those games. Just because I'd like to finish them, especially have them on the channel for you guys. It's just because either press the attack. What?
It's drawing in energy.
Not for long it is. With me.
Do I only have so much time? What am I doing here? Ready an atomic ray.
There. It's down.
This is our chance.
But let's talk about. I don't know. I can say, back to talking about this game, I love these boss fights though, they're so cool. And they're all unique and fun, where even though it's the same principle of the health bar and stacker bar, they make them feel different. Unique enemy encounters. Excellent, I think we'll get him this time. I had Koda's ability as well, which would help ensure it. Nice. Iron Giant dismantled. Perfect. 1800 gold, let's go. For Gil. Fallen Iron. Despite thousands of years having passed since its forging, not a single blemish, scratch, nor patch of rust can be found upon this metal surface. As to how that is possible, none can say, and the answer will likely remain lost forever.
It's done.
What are these creatures? And why do they keep attacking us?
They're probably asking themselves the same thing. We're the ones trespassing here. They're just protecting their home. Jill, look.
Whoa.
Is that some kind of mural?
It's worth a closer look, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think I might have over-leveled just a little bit. But that does mean this will be a little bit easier, too. Or I won't need to rely too much on like health potions and stuff. I think I'm more glad... Wicked Wheel. The thing I'm more glad of is having an increased health. That's what I like the most. The attack, that's fine, just as long as I got enough health to be able to take some hits. Oh, and you can't walk out here. I'll be darned. Get the feeling there's gonna be another boss fight here.
All right then.
A lich? I don't think I've ever faced one of those things. Ah, crap, I looked down and checked my mic. What? It's not a boss fight, but it's definitely a new enemy. I'm gonna use gouge to get her staggered there. Oh yeah. Try to take it out quickly here. I don't think that's gonna happen. It's got a health like a Minotaur. Oh, it's like 1.6. No! 1.5 is as high as I've seen it get. Oh, that was perfect timing. I didn't intend on parrying, but that worked awesome.
What the hell was that thing? It wasn't like the others.
It would seem this place holds even more secrets than we thought.
Alright, so how... Oh. Right through the doorway. Durr. Now, is there a door on the other side, too? There is. So do these lead to two entirely different places, though? Do I have a map? Oh, no local map. Interesting.
Look out!
Spectre. Yeah, we are getting hit with a lot of different enemies here. Ones that we haven't seen before. Are these creatures of Aether, though? Almost like summons, in a way? Well, not summons, but summonable creatures that are created from Aether. So many questions,
What have
because I'm
we here?
intrigued.
Another fallen wonder.
Just then I'm guessing I've got to... Yep, gotta go to the other one too. Alright. That explains why there's two then. So, what's in here? Great. It's like the size of a hunter, but more spry.
Not this time.
Alright, then we'll activate this and have that circle of
Lights.
magic again.
Well, that did something.
Curious what we're gonna find here. As well as I'm curious what the Phoenix would have to go through then. Oh, actually. Yep, already know on that. Already know on that. Phoenix Gate. The remains of the fortress destroyed in the year 860. On what came to be known as the Night of Flames, the castle's invasion by Sambrequa assassins, and the battle between the two icons of fire that arose in its wake. Ancient ruins lie beneath and are reached by means of an underground pathway. Prior to Rosaria becoming an imperial province, the gate was of great importance to the people of the duchy, being the site of the rite of ancestral communion. So I'm guessing once we reach there, something should happen.
So, it isn't a dead end after all.
Apparently not.
So onward we go. But yeah, regarding previous games, there's definitely a few I want to finish up, but right now I want to focus on Final Fantasy and the Dead Islands, as well as a special game or two that I want to put up on the channel for you guys in the month of July. Just got a couple things from our recordings for it.
And look what's in it.
What is that?
How old do you suppose this is? 1,000 years? More?
I don't know. I've never seen anything like it before. Who is that in the middle, do you think? Some sort of god. You're him. The second dominant of fire. Who are you?
What's going on here?
What? I'm back.
Stop it! Please! Stop!
Joshua chose me to be his shield. He gave me his blessing and asked me to keep him safe. I should have protected him that day. It was my duty.
Clive.
Joshua. I'm sorry. I failed you. Joshua died. I killed him. And I blamed another for what I did. To spare myself the guilt. I feared that by accepting it, I would lose what little was left of me. So I ran. From everything. And now? Are you ready to accept the truth? I am. I know it won't be easy, but it's what I must do. So that Joshua's soul can finally rest in peace.
Show me who you truly are.
Oh dang, we have to battle Ifrit now?
Not this time.
Well dang, this is pretty cool. Hopefully this do a bit of damage. Vulcan burst. Oh, get out of there. Oh, can I pull him down? Oh, that's awesome. Nice, now we can get some real good damage here. Or it could for a moment there. Oh. Dang it, I got stuck on his feet. I can't move.
Not this time.
Crimson Rush, so got dodge. Staggered, excellent. We're actually doing pretty good damage here. Thought this would be a bit tougher. So far, no.
deny it. Even when the truth's staring right at you. Come on, Clive. Face your fears.
This all must be happening right in his head then. I like this fight, it's interesting. But looks like he's only using the fire abilities. Molten Thrust? That's not something we could do. And that took him out of there. That probably wasn't the best move. Nice, pretty cool mirror match in a way. Perfect. And another Rise of Flame. Nice. 17,000. I think that is the most damage I've done from the stagger.
I see. Shall we learn by example?
Give me!
Yeah, what is happening there? Some kind of advanced state or something? Oh, crud. And I can't stop this, so I gotta get out of here. Gotta move, gotta move, gotta move. Get as much damage as you can here. So hopefully this is a worthwhile move. No, that's more for staggering them. Damage. He's giving us a whooping here. If I can stagger him with this. Still a pretty cool fight, I have to say.
No escape, eh? It's all right. I'm done running from you. Together, then. It's time to find out who we are, once and for all.
A new gauge, accept the truth. Hey. Oh, so it's like an icon ability then.
Show yourself, Ifrit.
Yeah, I'd say we're doing more damage for sure. Thanks for our base strikes here.
The truth of it now. You are not Ifrit. I am.
Oh, this is so cool. I love that transition. Oh, that's badass. Shadow Vanquished. 3200 gil, 180 for skill, 450 for experience. Fire Shard. The power of the icon Ifrit made manifest. The shard of crystal is hot to the touch and can be heard to emit a soft hum when held to the ear.
Clive, are you all right?
Jill. It's nothing. I'll be fine. No more chasing shadows. The hooded man isn't here. We should go.
Clive, are you sure you're all right? Whatever it is, you can tell me.
I had a hard enough time telling myself. I awakened as a dominant of fire, right here in this castle, and I've been running from it ever since. But now I know for certain who I really am. The second icon of fire, who killed my brother and burn this castle to the ground was me. Ifrit.
Clive.
I took so many lives that night, and destroyed so many more, including yours. And I must atone for the crimes I've committed. But not before I learn the whole truth. How can a second icon of fire even exist? And why was I chosen as its dominant? Who is the hooded man who brought us here? And what does he want? I need to know. And since I'm still breathing, I might as well make myself useful.
We'll find your answers together. I want to learn the truth too. There'll be time enough for atonement when we're done.
I was hoping you'd say that. I don't think I could do this without you. You never were one to hide from the truth, even when we were young. And you haven't changed a bit.
You're wrong. I have changed. But I don't want to be that person anymore. The things she did were unforgivable. And yet, they're what brought us back together.
Thank you, Jill.
If he is here, then the disturbance I felt at the care must have been confounded. The hour is later than I thought.